Hi everyone, it's Becky here. So welcome to another new video here on my YouTube channel, and our second Airbnb in England is actually pretty good. Yeah, the little kitchen is pretty nice. We got everything we need, and also the hosts are offering us breakfast items. And it's pretty close to the Victoria coach station and train station. So after breakfast at the Airbnb, me and my mom are taking the bus to Trafalgar Square, where the National Art Gallery is, and around that area there are a lot of interesting shops to see. Yeah, so me and my mom are cruising the city using mostly Google Map. And now we're walking into the National Art Gallery, one of the most famous art galleries in England, looking at these original paintings. Most are oil paintings on canvas. A lot of classical paintings from the past 5 centuries. All of the paintings here are extremely stunning and beautiful, but my favorite area is the impressionistic paintings. And yeah, there are some well-known pieces by Vincent van Gogh, like the sunflowers, the crabs, and the chair. And I love the use of violets and purples in here, and the amazing light and shadows on these ones. So when we're painting snow using any art medium, always use different kinds of blue violets and also muted browns. And this one is a really fun painting of some kids from a wealthy family. This area is my favorite. I'm seeing a missing doo-doo here. And it's a really wonderful art gallery with a lot of atriums and tons of paintings to see. So I very rarely use black in my paintings, so after seeing these, I think I want to try to use my black paint more. Yeah, and these are inspiring me and many of you to paint more flower bouquets. Beautiful pieces. And still life paintings. Yeah, for me, I can never get tired of sketching everyday still life, just like these artists. Yeah, so together we're making the mundane into something extraordinary. So the use of high ratio of black or even pure black for the background are really pushing the still life forward. And that was a lot to see at the National Art Gallery, so now I'm outside, sitting on the bench at Trafalgar Square. One of the most famous landmarks in London. Here's my quick pencil draft. Now I'm starting to draw the fountain on the left side of my composition. So I'm dividing this complicated scenery into objects one at a time. So I started to draw the fountain and then adding some people walking around or sitting. It's good to draw people doing different things and different gestures from different perspectives. Yeah, so when sketching people, I just improvise on the moment using my short-term memory. And just spend about 10 to 30 seconds drawing each person. So this is like the back view of a man passing by and disappeared in about 5 seconds. And I also want to try to suggest people walking in different distances. And we don't have to always use very difficult perspective rules to suggest a sense of depth. And now I'm drawing the first lion statue that I see facing me and the profile view of another one. So the front view of a lion is actually a bit tricky to draw, but I think I did okay. A lamppost beside the lion. Now I'm starting to draw the middle and the base area of the monument. It's very much like a square cube shape with these thin layers on top of it. And yeah, the post holding the monument, which is very much like a cylinder. And the carved lines on the post or pillar. This is how I simplify these details on these illustrated story panels. It's actually pretty hard to see the small details, so you don't have to be very clear. And now I'm starting to draw the distant buildings, starting with this one, the biggest one. So after suggesting its form laying behind the monument, I'm starting to stack these smaller details and then drawing the other buildings that are less important beside it on the left, dividing this building into floors. Now I want to take a break drawing details of that building by having fun drawing another lion statue and then doodling these people very far away. So it's a bright sunny day in London, but it's not that warm yet in March. Okay, so now back to this huge building. I'm starting to divide each floor into cubicles of window units. And these windows, they come in pairs or trios. Yeah, so this is how I get these windows done. Just using a doodling approach, keep your shapes really loose. Lots of repeating rectangles. They don't have to look identical. And you don't have to force yourself to draw in a mechanical way, making your lines looking too straight. Okay, now I'm going to loosen up even more by adding people in the distance. Here's like another couple here. And try to capture people walking in different, angles, front views, profile views, back views. And try to place your people on different invisible horizontal lines. So the lower they're on paper, the bigger you're supposed to draw them. As you can see, the foreground man, his shoes are actually outside my composition. So the horizontal line he's standing on is much, much lower compared to everyone else. I'm drawing another lion statue. And using these gentle swiping lines to draw the trees that are still bare branched. And spring is arriving slowly in London, suggesting the few windows that I can see beyond the trees and these curving horizontal lines for this round building. And windows. So windows are like eyes for buildings, adding so much spirit. And for these definitions close to the corners and edges of my paper, as you can see, yeah, I'm keeping it a bit incomplete. Let it loosely fade out. And now I'm using the Holbein colored pencil, olive green, to detail these early spring tree branches. And now it's finally time to paint watercolors. I'm going to paint the sky first, as usual. So I just wetted the sky area using clear water and then spreading out some diluted manganese blue. And for the lower part of the sky, I'm mixing a slight bit of spring green into manganese blue to suggest the late afternoon sky mood. Now, I'm using two yellows to paint these buildings glazed by the late afternoon sunshine. I'm using mostly yellow ochre and also Indian yellow for some small bursts of highlights. Yeah, for the pillars, some diluted yellow ochre first, and then, yeah, a crash of Indian yellow. Yeah, so mostly yellow ochre for some smaller pockets like here, a burst of Indian yellow here and there. So this scenery may be a bit challenging to draw, but it's not that difficult to paint it. It's easier to create a powerful painting on a bright sunny day with lots of good light and shadows. Yeah, so cobalt blue mixing with imperial purple to shade the trees and buildings. Punching on some brighter orange and burnt sienna for the shaded side of these buildings and roofs. Also burnt umber. Yeah, really nice dramatic long shadows, yeah, on the ground. Again, this is cobalt blue mixing with some imperial purple. Same for shading the pillar. I think the sun is shining from the right. So the left side of the pillar and the base is shaded. So when doing a piece of art, no matter what medium you're using, it's very important to be clear about where the light source comes from. Yeah, and when shading, you have to do it bravely and boldly. So really trust what you see. And I really like these heavier tones or values of these dark sepia roofs. So I'm using burnt sienna mixing with burnt umber here. Again, just shading the left side of those little cubicles. So more light and shade for these distant buildings. Continuing to use limited colors. And for these lion statues, it's mostly burnt umber, playing with water control. So creating a good watercolor painting is not about using many fancy colors. It's more about controlling the amount of water mixed into the pigment. You don't have to use that many colors to create a powerful painting. And here's the look of my finished sketch of Trafalgar Square. It was like a 1 hour 40-minute stay. And I feel so grateful for the perfect weather. And there's an art supply store nearby that I really want to visit. And yeah, I think it's even better to say, let's fill this world with artists. And yeah, so now let's go in and check it out. And it's not a huge store, but it has a lot of nice stuff in it. And well, I would say we have most of these materials imported to our Vancouver art supply stores, but not this Canson sketchbook yet. And I like perfect bound sketchbooks better than spiral bound. This is a nice watercolor set, colored pencils, markers, and I think I want to purchase a watercolor palette set manufactured by this art supplies store, Cash Art. Yeah, so I'm getting the 36 color set from Cash Art watercolors, and I'm also buying a set of Winsor Newton color inks. And yeah, we're having a simple dinner cooked at the Airbnb made by my mom. Yeah, so noodles, spinach and egg soup, and soup noodles. So thank you so much for watching this video, everyone. Happy Easter. Have a great long weekend. Take care, and I will see you in the next vlog video of my London vacation. Bye, everyone.